YouTube? Khallid AKA Smoove Flipper. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to answer another subscriber's question. EJ Joseph had a question, and I think it's a really good question. Basically, what he's asking is, when you're talking to somebody, you're talking to a lead, and you're asking them what do they want for the phone, and they reply with a price basically close to retail. How do you respond to that? And what can you do next? When they're asking, let's say $400 for an iPhone 8 Plus, and this happens a lot. This happens to me a lot. And at the end of the day, when you're negotiating, you have to understand that you're not going to win. You're not going to buy every phone you come across. There are going to be some people who don't know the value of what they have. And they may undervalue it, and which is good for us because then we get good deals and make money from it. And then there are some people who overvalue their phone, and they go on and say, well, I bought this phone for $1,000, even though they probably bought it for $1,000 about 3-4 years ago. And then they want that close to $1,000 price when they're trying to sell it to you. So what do you say? What do you say? How do you respond to them asking close to retail? So basically what I do, I basically remind them on what I do. Why I'm, essential to them. I basically let them know that, I buy phones, at discounted prices, and, why people come to me is due to the fact that it's hassle-free. You get cash in hand. You don't have to worry about trying to put it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and dealing with people, dealing with no-shows, because that happens when you're selling a phone, and a lot of people understand that. So when you start to, remind them on the things that you can help them with, on how you can make this whole transaction easier, then hopefully that usually, hopefully it will make them either change their price, lower their price, or come back into reality as far as what they can get for this phone. I usually tell them all those things, and then I say, look, you can go ahead and list this phone on Facebook Marketplace for the price you're asking. In a couple of days, if you don't sell it, then I'm always here. My price is still here if you need me. And that's how I usually go about it. I just, kind of give them the breakdown on what I do, how I can help them. And if they don't want to go with me and my price, at this given time, I give them the option to, go ahead and list the phone. Try and see if you can get $400 for the iPhone 8 Plus. I'll message you in a couple days, and we'll go from there. And that's usually landing me some deals when I've done that. I've came around and asked them, hey, you still have this phone for sale? And I've seen it on Marketplace when they list it. I see it on Marketplace. They're listing their, the phone's overpriced. I know it probably won't sell, or they're going to be getting a lot of low offers. So I usually hit them up a couple days after and say, hey, how are things going? Did you end up selling that phone? Most time they say no, they haven't. I say, well, look, I can still offer you this price. I can meet you today if you like. And sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. But with the way I do things, I'm very consistent. So 4 or 5 days later, I might message them again and ask them, hey, you still trying to sell this phone? I can cash you out right now, and it'll be a hassle-free transaction. So it's up to you to stay on top of it. You're not going to close every deal. That's just the reality of it. You're not going to close every deal. It is what it is, but you can be consistent and constantly message them as far as following up every 4 or 5 days to make sure that they still have the phone. If they still have the phone, you always put it in their ear that you're still buying at this price, and to let if anything changes. That's just what I do. That's how I go about it. Unfortunately, there's going to be some people who may even get mad at your price. They may even say, you're a ripoff, blah, 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 whatever. Here's my price of what I pay for these devices in this condition, in this carrier. I'm not forcing you to buy it, but here's my offer. Let me know if anything changes. So that's how I go about things, when it comes to you know, when you're asking these questions and they're coming back with these high prices, you know, at the end of the day, guys, like I said, it happens. It is what it is. There's nothing that I or anybody can do about do anything about, you know, their response. They're going to respond with what they want to respond with, but how we handle their response is, um, you know, how we're going to possibly close that deal. So as long as you're nice, as long as you're, you know, stay professional, even if they do, you know, kind of get out of line and say these things about you and all these things, look, that's not why we're here. We're here to make money. We're here to buy and resell phones. So I'm not here to argue with you because you don't like my price. I'm going to still be nice and say, look, here's my price, and we'll go from there. So that's actually a great question by EJ. I really appreciate that question. You know, and I understand. This is why I made this video. I understand how it goes, and I get these type of questions all the time about, you know, people struggling with not being able to pick up phones because people want these high prices, and I understand that. But the more you put yourself out there, the more ads you post, the more people you're going to come across, and the more opportunity you will get to buy phones at a discounted price. So if you did enjoy this video, please drop a like. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.